First hand stitch that we're going to do is called the whip stitch. This one's really easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your two seams, so this is like one side of the seam and this is another side, and you would iron it down on the fold of where your seam would be. So if it was like, say, a seam of a pant that you'd be marking 5/8, and then you would go ahead and iron that line down, and then you'd match up those seams, those little folds, just like this. And that's how you would stitch it. So let's start off first and go ahead and thread our needle. Okay, to thread your needle, what I do is I'll lick the end of the thread, and then you go ahead and hook it through the hole. And then what I do is I use double thread. So sometimes you can just stop here and then you'll make a knot at the end of your single thread, but what I do almost always is use double thread. It's stronger and it's easier to use. You don't have to worry about your needle coming unthreaded, which is nice. Okay, so now I've shown this in my last video, but let's show it again. So to knot, what I do is I take the two pieces of thread so I'm doing double thread. I take it between my fingers just like this, and I wrap it around just once. So you have it wrapped around your finger just once. And then you roll it off of your index finger, and you'll end up with this little loop. And you should be able to take it up here and pull it down and make sure it's nice and tight, and you'll end up with this. Yay, it worked. Okay, cool. So you'll end up with something like that. And then just snip this little bit off. I mean, the smaller your knot is, the better. You want it to hide. So now that that's done, we'll go back. So this is what you're going to do at the beginning of each hand stitch, is you're going to do this threading of the needle, and you'll use double thread. So the first things first, you want to hide that knot. So go ahead and take your needle and put it underneath the fold and come out right here at this fold. So you see that? Like, I came in from here, and you just go up through the fold. So that way when you pull through, you don't see that knot. And then what you'll do is you'll just go ahead, and you're going to do this going, I kind of depends on the stitch. I'm going to hold it like this. So I'm holding it vertical and I'm working my way up. And you'll just go ahead, try to be even. I would say about 1/8 of an inch is probably good. And you grab both of the folds with your needle, just like that. You take your needle through, you pull, and you'll end up little vertical crisscrossies. Can you guys see that? Vertical crisscrossies. So you'll just do that all the way down. And just make sure you keep all this even. You just really want to make sure that you stay even when you're hand sewing your stuff. If you really need to, you can I kind of eyeball it. If you really want it to look really neat, you can actually measure. I'll show you. We're going to do that with one of them because I really want one of them to look neat. We'll do that with our blanket stitch. And we'll actually measure out each stitch. It sounds tedious, but it looks so much better in the end. And if you do that, you'll save more time. So instead of eyeballing it, you'll measure it out. So I'm not going to do the whole thing because it's too long. So you'll end up with something like this. See how this is a quick, like, dirty kind of way. And then once you fold out, it'll look kind of like this. And this is what it looks like on the other side. It's not like gorgeous or anything. it shows, I mean, obviously you would use, I'm using black thread for you to show you guys, but you would obviously use thread that would match, so it wouldn't be that bad. But this is just something quick and easy you could do. You could do this on seams, you could do this on hems, you could do this on pretty much anything. This is how I'll usually go to hand sew pretty much anything. So, and then I'm going to show you how we would finish this. So this is how I do it. This is the easy way that I do it. So see how it comes out right there? You want to pick up a couple of threads. So don't get a lot, but like count 1 or 2 threads right next to where the thread comes out. And then you pull through, and you're going to make this little loop. See how you have this little loop? And then you put your needle through that loop and pull it tight, and you'll get a knot. Now you could do this a couple of times. That's what I would do, is do this a couple of times. So just until you're satisfied, basically, is you would do this just until you're satisfied. So I'm satisfied with that right there, and it won't come out. And then you just cut really close. Now, if you were doing this, like, you always want to hide your knot, so that's kind of ugly. But this is the wrong side of the fabric anyway. But if you really wanted to hide it, you could go in this fold right here and hide it, and do it on the back side. Anywhere where you're not going to see it is the best place. So let's go on to the next